We'll move on to the men's U17 double sculls, 8-boat race. In lane 0, we have Ian Powell from Treasure Coast. In lane 1, we have Miami Rowing Club. In lane 2, Great Miami Crew. In lane 3, Ridgewood Crew A. Same boat as well, another A in lane 4. Then we have Woodlands, a pair of their squads, B and A in lanes 5 and 6. And then in lane 7, we have Chicago Training. Maurice, we have been blessed so far with some phenomenal results over the last couple of races.
We have. I mean, it's, again, we've had some pretty awesome moves and strategy. We've seen boats coming from, coming from the woodworks. We're seeing some boats, leading through the first 1,500 meters of the race, but again, it's a 2,000 meter course, so it's not over until you reach 2,000 meters. And we've seen a lot of crews go into that last 500 with a chip on their shoulder and walking through the leaders of the first 1,500 meters of the race.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about the mindset, mentality, trying to control your thoughts to a certain extent. What does the confidence look like in your preparation? I feel like if you come out into these races, and correct me if I'm wrong, the more confidence that you have in knowing what you're able to do, I feel like that would translate better out in the water.
Absolutely, and it's all about preparation. I mean, there is a code that I definitely live by. It's just like, you prepare to, or you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And so obviously these athletes, they earn their spot here, so they have some type of standard within their programs. They have won a regional, they have won something to earn them this spot here, and so there is some discipline, there is some work ethic that is coming out of every single one of these athletes. And right now, again, we're seeing this is going to be your Chicago Training boat. It looks like they're in the league, and again, they have put in work all season to be able to compete at the highest level within youth rowing in the United States. Right now, we see that Bowsey peeking on over, looking where he is, and peeking on over again, trying to make sure he knows where he is, because look at that. As we're seeing, there's lane 3, lane 4, lane 5. They are all on the hunt, and they smell that blood in the water. So Chicago Training, I mean, you guys are not the only ones on the course at this point. They are, there's a fight that is about to happen, and we'll see if they'll be able to respond. Again, they're looking strong, but we're seeing in that frame that, again, you'll have Ridgewood Crew, Woodlands B and Woodlands A hot on their tail.
Love the camera shot by 5 Tribes, as all of a sudden, as you mentioned, some of those boats just hop into the shot. It just makes everything a little bit more intense.
It does. And sorry, I made a mistake. That's going to be lane 2, 3, and 4. That's going to be Great Miami Crew, Ridgewood Crew A, and we'll call that Ridgewood Crew B in that lane 4. And we are entering into that last 500 meters of the race. Right now, the first ones to cross is going to be that Chicago Training boat in lane 7. They're looking good. They're looking strong. But again, this is now time. We're now starting to load up, and the countdown is now on before we reach those red buoys and we have liftoff. And so it's all about these boats trying to respond to Chicago's lead here. They have maintained a lead all the way through the first 1,500, but what did I say? That there's 2,000 meters of the race. So now you have 500 meters to go, and Chicago is not without of striking distance from these other crews.
And of course, in this race, you don't have anyone yelling at you, yelling legs like we heard earlier. So how does that differ as well? There's more maybe of an inner responsibility, or accountability to be a better word, as we hit this final 500 meters.
Absolutely. So the bow seat is typically the one that is motivating the boat. They're the ones that are looking out the boat. The stern seat should not be looking out the boat. They're the ones setting the boat, setting the rhythm, setting the tone. But bow seat is typically the one that is also, letting the stern seat know this is where we are, this is what we need to do, and we need to move now, or we need to hold off on this move, and it's the strategy is coming out of that bow seat. So the bow seat is the one that's going across the finish line first, and so this is what we're about to see, if we'll get some motivation out of some of these boats here. Again, Chicago was leading the pack now, but again, they're going to be pressed. It looks like they're going to be pressed by by this Ridgewood Crew B in that lane of 4. That Ridgewood Crew B is putting on a show now. They have picked up the rate. It looks like they're going to walk on Chicago right now, and they now have a seat. They now have 2, and they are now ripping away from the rest of the pack. Chicago trying to respond, but there will, oh, Chicago's picking it up. Wow, what a last-minute move by Chicago. I'm not sure, that was pretty close. And then wrapping that one up is going to be lane 5, Woodlands B, and then also lane 6 and lane 5, I believe that was lane 3. I'm not sure who came first in between those, but that was a nice move by lane Chicago. But I think Chicago might have just missed out on that and got overtaken. But look at that, 0.22 between Chicago and Ridgewood Crew.
That was so close. I think it was Akil that said earlier, I'm not touching that one, and I would put that in that same category. What a finish there between both of those races, both of those boats, I should say. Wow, 0.22, as Maurice mentioned, to finish the U17 double sculls. Of course, this is all unofficial as well, but what a great finish.
Absolutely, absolutely, and so yeah, we love to see racing. We live for it, and awesome. It was nice talking with you, Brian. I know we're about to do a little switch up, but again, it was awesome.
Thanks for having me on.